Welcome back to Off the Gridiron. I'm Josh. We got Dez filling in, fan of the Shield, but a Houstonian who does follow the Texans. He knows what's up. We're going to talk AFC Playoff picture.
Okay.
Coming up, there's one game left, and a lot to still be kind of determined with the seeding. The Texans have the hope of all hopes and Cam Ward to play spoiler against the Jaguars. You also have a big Ravens-Steelers game on Sunday Night Football to basically determine who the Texans might be playing in the playoffs. A lot coming up. A lot to talk about.
A lot.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I think just as a football fan, it's pretty wide open in a year where kind of the bigger names are not in it, and you got to feel good. Texans fans got to feel confident. Obviously, winning 8 straight is a big thing. You're slotted right now in the 5 seed with that potential winner of the Steelers-Ravens. And then hopefully Cam Ward, Texas kid, can pull an upset to get you into the 3 spot. But the defense travels. And I think this playoff picture, when you look at these teams, Denver is going to be tough in Denver. Patriots will be tough in Foxborough, but there's not – the Texans defense is going to travel. And it's been pretty awesome to kind of see it unfold. They kind of play you straight up and then just beat you.
Yeah, they're just like, we're lining up and come at us.
Yeah, and
we're
so
coming at you. I
think they have a parachute of just disguising coverages and giving you different looks, and they'll probably save that for the postseason. But it's wide open. The AFC being this wide open and not being a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, fest essentially in years past, or Joe Burrow or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's wide open. And I think defense wins championships, and all you need from the Texans perspective is CJ and the offense to almost hang you 21 to 24 points and let your defense just hold on and do what they do best. And it's exciting. You got to be pumped. I mean, the city's going to be, really bumping.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Unfortunately, it'd be the third round. Currently, it'd be the third round before you get a home playoff game potentially. So it's
a lot of road warriors early.
You could potentially go the entire playoffs without a home playoff game, which would suck. But I do want to say on this year being so different, who were the top 5 seeds in 2024?
Oh.
I know it. I'm asking you to guess.
Buffalo?
No.
Kansas City?
Yeah.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Houston? Baltimore?
Yeah. Then Houston.
Then Houston, and then Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the totally different.
Yeah.
Now this year you have potentially Denver, New England, Jacksonville. Pittsburgh.
Crazy.
And then Houston. A complete flip in the entire AFC picture. Obviously the Chiefs go down early. The Ravens are hanging on. They look like they were fully out of it, and then they've started to turn around. And then the Bills, I mean, they look better now. I mean, they're going to finish probably 12-5. So, like,
they're going to have the same road as the Texans when you win road games.
Yeah. Which their strength in the past has been having teams come up to Buffalo and have to beat them there. So I'm interested to see how good they can play in their matchups. But, yeah, the AFC looks totally different. As a Houston fan, you're, like, licking your chops at these potential opponents because it felt like every year, I mean, the past 2 seasons, the Texans have been the 4th seed. And you're like, that should be great. But then you always run into the goddamn Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. And unfortunately this year, depending on how Sunday Night Football goes, you might have a first round matchup in Baltimore. But at the very least, this Ravens team does not look like Ravens teams from the past.
No, and it really feels like the year where the Eagles got in and then they got bounced in the first round, where you're just like, this Eagles team has just been leaking oil, and they get in and they got bounced. It feels like that with the Ravens. They've been kind of running uphill the entire time. Lamar's been in and out of injuries. They just haven't really clicked.
Yeah,
Obviously,
he missed last week with a bad back, right? Is he playing this week?
I would assume he's going to play Sunday night.
Yeah, big game.
But it just feels like, obviously there's skeletons in the closet of Baltimore versus Houston, but going into this game, potentially if the Ravens beat the Steelers, or Steelers versus the Ravens, Steelers beat the Ravens, then you got to go to Pittsburgh. But you got to think this defense is going to just be absolutely fired up for that cause, for that opportunity to kind of exercise some demons there. So I think defense travels. I think the Texans defense is the best in the league, and you can get there. Now, when the other side is the NFC, where they put up a ton of points and play some defense too, that's a different conversation. But if you're having that conversation, that means you're in the Super Bowl, and that's where all Texan fans want to be in about a month's time.
Yeah, Texans in the conference are 9-2.
Yeah,
they're
dominating.
They've only lost barely to the Broncos by one field goal when CJ got hurt, and then the game they lost to the Jaguars.
Yep.
So they've shown they can beat every one of these AFC teams. They haven't played the Patriots, obviously. They haven't played the Steelers, but they beat the Chargers. They beat the Bills. They beat the Colts. They beat the Ravens. They've beat every other big team in this conference. So I'm very interested to see what it looks like. Let's get into the actual nitty gritty of what could happen. So right now the Texans are the 5th seed. If Jacksonville does what they probably will do and beat the Titans on Sunday, or are they playing Sunday or Saturday?
They play Sunday.
The Texans will most likely stay the 5th seed. Obviously, your hope as a Texans fan is that Tennessee can play spoiler and the Texans can win over the Colts, and then the Texans go to the 3rd seed and would play the Chargers potentially. On the non-Texans front, you have the Sunday night football game, like we said, Steelers-Ravens. That'll determine basically who the Texans are most likely playing.
Yeah, you'll know.
If either way you're going to a cold Northeast city, I think most Texans fans would agree that you'd rather play the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, which is like something you don't think you'd want, but I think this Texans defense would have Aaron Rodgers. I just, in my probably homer opinion, I just feel like they would have him in a blender. Like, obviously he's smart, and that's what you would worry about, quick dump off, stuff like that. But just mobility wise, I think if they can get past their O-line,
it's going to be
screwed. Yeah. But obviously, if the Ravens could win, but not have Lamar starting, then you're just like, oh, maybe we want to play them. Either way, that's kind of what the Texans are looking at. Basically, those 3 games: Jaguars, Tennessee, Texans, Colts, obviously, and Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Winner of obviously looking ahead. If you won that game in the playoffs, you would then immediately go face the 1 seed in Denver. So it's not we talking about how the makeup of the AFC looks different. It looks like a potentially easier path than it has been in the past, but it's the playoffs. It's playoff football. It's going to be difficult either way. I think you just had that sigh of relief from last week of just at least clinching that spot.
Yeah,
making it there. That's the big thing. Get to the dance and see what can happen. But yeah, that's what it looks like moving forward. Obviously, on the NFC side, we're a Texans podcast here, so we're not going to get all the way into that. But a lot of big games on the NFC side as well. The Seahawks and 49ers are basically playing to one team is going to end up the 1 seed and have a bye, and the other team is going to be the 5th seed and have to go on the road, potentially to either Carolina or Tampa Bay. Interesting all around. We'll get into next. We're going to get into the Colts and Texans game this week. We're going to preview that. But first, we're going to hear from our sponsor, Underdog. Football season is in full swing, and Underdog is the best place to get on all the action. Playing Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on certain stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. This week, obviously, Texans Colts. The Colts are starting Riley Leonard, so that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at your Underdog picks this week. What is your pick for this game coming up?
Yes, I'm going to go higher. CJ Stroud, 1.5 touchdowns passes.
Okay, I like that. Only thing that worries me about a Stroud line is potentially they go up high and they sit them early. I'm taking Riley Leonard higher on interceptions thrown. It's 0.5.
Nice.
He's gonna throw a desperate ball downfield, and Kamari or somebody's gonna pick him off. I just see it happening. But yeah, those are our picks. Download the app today. Use promo code OTG to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Take it away, Josh. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. All right. Use code OTG. This week, Indianapolis at home. I think this should go the way we all expect it to go. But you know what? That Raiders game, the Texans, I feel like no matter what the opponent, outside of a couple outliers like that Baltimore game and obviously the Tennessee game, I feel like every opponent is going to go about the same. Their offense is going to put up hopefully somewhere between 14 and 28 points. And their defense is going to hold the other team to somewhere between 6 and like 16 points. And you just hope that lines up where they win the game. That's how it's gone for the past 8 wins in a row. Obviously, they scored a little bit more on some games. The Cardinals game was a good, I guess, blueprint for how you hope this game will go. But yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. You can't take anything for granted. You have to go into that week and do all the right steps to win the game. You can't just assume.
Yeah, and this is where I'm at. There's been one team the entire season that's scored more than 21 points on the Texans defense, and that was the Jacksonville Jaguars, who scored 29 and lost.
Yeah, in the stretch of 8.
No, the entire year.
Well, the Seattle put up 27 when they beat.
Yep, you're right.
That's the only
two
one.
teams. Two teams have.
Yeah.
On the entire season.
That's crazy.
That was October 20th and November 9th.
In the past 2 calendar months.
Yeah. In this streak, only one team, like Jacksonville, the other team, Vegas, got to 21. Yeah. But this defense is just so damn good. And I think they're going to, put the clamps on Riley Leonard. Obviously, it would have been cool to see Phillip Rivers play one last game, but also probably not against this defense. It would have been
I think Phillip is like, we're out of the contention. Why do I want to go out there and
get just shellacked?
44-year-old just
shellacked.
Injuries that are going to last the rest of his life, probably.
Yeah,
he's going to be 70 and be like, yeah, my wrist still hurts a bit. Will Anderson got me in week 17.
But having momentum of 9 wins going to the playoffs is what you're striving for. Obviously, I think the Texans are going to be like, whoever we play, we'll line up and play them. But it starts this Sunday at NRG against the Colts.
Yeah, I mean that's with the questions from Texans fans about coaching and Nick Haley and just everything in general. This is a good opportunity to show how locked in and how, there's no, because I'd be worried about a trap game, about some lacks in urgency if there's start showing some of that this game, I'm going to be a little worried about the playoffs.
Okay.
Just because of that, like it's final week of the season, you're playing an opponent you should whoop. I don't want to see any taking for granted esque plays, just mindsets going. I need to see just a dominant ass whooping from whistle to whistle, and go into the playoffs like you said on a 9-game winning streak, head held high.
Yeah, I think showing complete 4 quarters, right?
Yeah,
and hopefully you're pulling the starters in the fourth, and Davis Mills gets some run. That'd be a good sign. But health, getting the guys healthy, taking care of business, getting the win, and then hoping, scoreboard watching, that Cam Ward on the other side can match that Jacksonville offense with points, and hoping for that. But if not, control what you control.
That's a good
get that win.
Control what you can control,
and go from there. So I just think on things that, just as a football fan, I want to see is that explosiveness they had for that opening script against the Chargers of jumping out early and on those high strike plays, having that and sustaining that. It felt like very much we're going to score and then we're just going to hope to hold on with the defense, with the Colts, who are mathematically eliminated, who have lost a lot of games in this back half of the season with all their injuries.
Yeah,
you gotta take care of business. Bottle Jonathan Taylor, force Riley Leonard into spots, make them make tough throws where you can hopefully cash your higher than on your underdog, and go from there. The game plan's pretty simple, straightforward. Yeah,
I mean, you can't go into this week not expecting Jonathan Taylor to go out there and try and get every yard he can possibly get. He's still, you think mathematically eliminated. Oh, those players over there. They're some of those players are playing for spots on the team next year. Jonathan Taylor's probably playing for contract incentives or future contract. He wants to get every yard he can on this season to show for future contract negotiations, for whatever. Like, they have pride in what they're doing. Jonathan Taylor's gonna try and run for 140, 150 yards on you. So, like you said, you got to lock him down and then go from there. I mean, my prediction for this game, I'm gonna give a bullish prediction because it should be 28-6. I think it should be something like that. If it's not, then I'm a little worried, but we'll see. What's your thought on this?
We're 27-10.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Not a whole lot to talk about on that game. I think we all just expect it to go how it should go. It's one of those things where it's only a problem if it is.
Yeah, you don't want to be here Monday morning on the next episode talking about, damn, okay, we got to refocus. You're going on the road. No, you want momentum going into that first playoff series, and controlling what you control.
Like you said, it should be a game that's such a smooth sailing that you have starters sitting in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's optimum goal for this week, and then you look forward to the playoffs. Big weeks coming up. We'll be back with more OTG, talking about it all. The host carousel of me, Noah, Garrett, Kush, and Dez hopping in when he can. We're always going to be talking
spot start.
Yeah, spot start. Get some pitches in. We will see you next time talking more Texans football. Thank you for watching and listening.
Peace.
Back in my bag and I ain't gotta brag, I do this shit for real. When we was down and we had nothing, we had to share a meal.